Am I the asshole for telling my future mother-in-law that if she wants me to have a large wedding, she can pay for it? We shall see. 29 female here. I recently got engaged to my fiance Ryan, 30 male. He was actually my high school sweetheart, but we broke up during college and have been back together for the past 7 years. Some context is that I'm the youngest of three girls. My parents are both doctors and they have done quite well for themselves. I think my future in laws think they're much wealthier than they actually are. Most of their money has gone into mine and my sister's educations, and so they have to think about money and how much they're spending. My parents are kind enough to pay for my private college, but I had to cover law school on my own. I still have close to 100K to pay off. I make good money now and will be able to pay it off on my own, but also, Ryan and I want to buy a house and have children, so the debt is stressful. Also, a sizable percent of my salary for the past several years have gone towards paying off my debt. My dad pulled me aside when I got engaged and told me that he set aside 75K for each of his daughters for weddings. Baby, that's a good dad. I wish. My oldest sister had a huge fancy wedding and spent most of the money on the ceremony. My other sister had a modest wedding and put the rest towards a down payment on a house. Now that's more logical. My dad basically said the money is mine to do what I want with, whether I want to spend it all on a wedding or put it towards my student loans or something else. I spoke to Ryan about this and we agreed that I should put it all towards my student loans. Neither of us care about having a huge wedding and we'd much rather get my debt paid off quickly so we could start saving for a house. My parents think this is a smart decision and are happy I'm using the money sensibly. They also know I've never been someone who cared about having a fancy wedding and always thought I used the money for something else. When I told Ryan's parents that we're going to the courthouse wedding, my future mother-in-law Jan was upset. Jan said that my oldest sister had a beautiful wedding and asked why I didn't want the same. I explained the situation to her and that I'd rather put the money my parents set aside towards my loans and have a small celebration with our close family and friends. When I say small, I mean our parents, siblings, one or two close friends, and that's it. To be honest, if it was up to me, it would just be me and Ryan, and I think both of our families would be so hurt by this, so I want to include at least the parents and siblings. Jan told Ryan that I was being selfish since weddings are about uniting families and celebrating with loved ones, and we're putting our needs before that. It's, I want to hear after this that she's contributing, because how do you fix your mouth to say weddings about, if you want to have a reunion, you can do that. We can have a little party at the house and invite everybody. But if I don't want to have a big wedding, I don't have to. Like, it's giving weird. Because you can do a uniting of families at another time or whenever. Granted, yes, everybody will probably come to the wedding and have a big celebration. But if you're not going to, I hope she's going to say she paying for it, because I got bills to pay, man. She also said that we're both attorneys and aren't exactly struggling to pay bills. Oh, so she counting y'all money. She counting y'all coins. That's what it is. She asked if we'd consider putting half of the money towards a ceremony and half towards my loans, and we said no. She then started saying that she had a ton of relatives who wanted to be included in the ceremony and will be disappointed that they don't get to see Ryan get married. So she wants you to spend $75,000 on a wedding ceremony because she wants relatives to be a part of the ceremony? This is a joke. Boy, y'all starting off on the right foot, I see. Ryan told his mom she was being a hypocrite since she literally eloped and didn't include her family in the ceremony. Oh, I get what it is. She has regrets. She regret that she eloped and then she probably got chewed out by her family. So now she doesn't want to repeat that. Now her son is getting married. She wants to include all the people that couldn't make it to her wedding. She wants to do it for her son's wedding. That makes sense. Jan started crying and saying that it was a huge mistake not to have her family there, and she didn't want Ryan to make the same mistake. I stepped in and told Jan that if she wanted to pay for a wedding where all of her relatives will be included, then Ryan and I would be happy to take her up on it. But the money would have to come from her since she's the one who cares about us having a large wedding. I completely agree. You got suggestions, pony up the money. This upset Jan. She told me that the woman's family is supposed to pay for the wedding. She said that it's selfish that two doctors wouldn't help with my student loans and also pay for a ceremony. So she's definitely counting your money. So she's like, oh, you got your doctors. You should have all this money. Wow. Those are the type of people that they stop counting people's pockets. Yeah, they could be doctors. Not all doctors are rich. Some doctors that only have to deal with insurance are making $100,000 to $300,000 a year. If you live in certain states like New York and California, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. You're basically damn near 100,000, 200,000 is almost middle class now. If you think about it, how inflation and how the cost of everything goes. You go to the grocery store, you're spending $200, $300 on a week or two worth of groceries. Like, let's be real. She counting your money. That's the problem. So she wants the parents to pay for the wedding and pay off her loans so she could show face to her family. If she don't get the hell up out of here. This set me off since my parents have been extremely generous with me, including paying 100% of my undergraduate tuition. I told Jan that my parents have worked hard for my sisters and I to have everything we needed growing up and to pay for our educations. And I don't feel right asking them to contribute to a fancy ceremony on top of everything that already given me. Ryan was furious and told his mom that he doesn't want her at our wedding if she's going to act like this. We ended up leaving and Ryan hasn't spoken to his mom since. I talked to my older sister and she thinks I'm being selfish too. She keep talking and she won't get invited either. How about that? She says that I should put some of the money towards a wedding and some towards my loans so our families can enjoy the special occasion. But I've never wanted a big wedding and I'm stressed about my loans and just want them paid off. Am I the asshole? You don't have to do anything. There is nothing where anybody says you need to pay $75,000 for a one-night party to make everybody happy. I'm sure it would be a beautiful wedding that everybody can enjoy and it'd be a beautiful night. But to pay $75K for a one-time party that you don't even care to have, and then when you leave there, you're still gonna have this $100K student loan debt and you still have to save up for a house. So that puts your life of what you have you and your husband have plans to do back, all because to show face for a one-night party. I've heard of people taking out loans for their wedding. Kudos to them. Kudos for them. Kudos to them for wanting to have, go into debt to just show face for a one-night party. To each its own. That wasn't happening over here. Absolutely not. You're not the asshole. She want to have a party, tell her stop watching your pockets, watching your parents' pockets, and pony up that money. If not, don't invite her ass. If she want to act like this, I wouldn't invite her either. I would rescind my invitation. More than likely, the father-in-law won't come either because his wife is not coming. Even better, a smaller invite. Listen, we in 2024. Nobody got time for the bullshit.